received lots of rain leading up to round 4 of the Canadian Triple Crown Series, round 4 here at Gopher Dunes, but the track was in pristine condition as we got underway for 250 Moto 1. The gate dropped and number 1, Ryder McNabb, points leader, got out to the front, and you can see just a perfect trajectory around that first corner. He would lead teammate Kevin Benoit, Josiah Natsky, Noah Viney into the first turn. Second turn, down went Tanner Ward and Mitchell Harrison. The two would find themselves battling from the back of the pack as the top 3 began to separate themselves with a great start by number 50, Austin Jones. Tuesday Oz, as Kevin Tyler would call him. Number 35, Preston Massangelo going through there. And it's nice to see number 527, Jake Trigo back in action there on the 252 stroke. Young guns Dylan Rempel and Blake Davies there. Ryder McNabb out front with Josiah Natsky giving chase, followed by Kevin Benoit. Jones would now have his teammate, number 12, that's Sebastian Racine, having a really good day as Massangelo holds off Viney there. Here comes Jake Trico and Rempel. Mitchell Harrison would have a good ride, working his way back up to 6th place there from dead last as Natsky goes to the front here and never really looked back in this one. He would really gap the field. But Kevin Benoit goes down while holding 3rd place. Able to get up because the 3 had gapped the rest of the pack by quite a lot. And now following up on him, chasing down in 4th was number 12, that's Sebastian Racine. Mentioned him having a great day there, moving up just ahead of Austin Jones. Jones would drop back a little bit. Nice ride from Tanner Ward, also coming from the back of the pack. He would make his way up to 5th place by the end, getting around number 31, Zach Eakins up there. Oh, but down goes points leader, that's Ryder McNabb, went down in an awkward spot just after the mechanics area. Looked like he would actually maybe be pulling out. He thought about it, but then as we got going again, you can see him coming around back up to speed and giving chase, making passes here just ahead of Mitchell Harrison. Preston Massangelo said afterward not feeling himself as Tanner Ward moves up through the pack. Nice little battle from the young guns. That's Blake Davies, Trico, and number 33, Tanner Scott with a very nice finish there overall in the day. He would end up 12th in this one. And now as you can see, Ryder McNabb starting to get himself into the top 4. He makes his way around Racine and now goes after his teammate, number 126, Benoit, but way out front with about a 12-second lead at the end of this one was Josiah Natsky looking fantastic. In the sand, first, second goes to McNabb, third to Sebastian Racine, third, and right behind him is Kevin Benoit, 5th to Tanner Ward. Gate drop for 450 Moto 1 under dry conditions, but that was about to change. As you can see, a nice jump there by Daniel Elmore, but things would change for him as he would go down and end up dead last and have to come back in this one. Whole shot to Jess Pettis ahead of Medallia, Elmore, Dylan Wright, and the rest of them come filing through. Dylan Wright would get out to the front here, but boy, these riders would take turns making mistakes in this one. Jess Pettis second, third to Moffenbauer, 4th early would be Tyler Medallia. He'd later say he did a little bit too much training before this one leading up, and there's Lars Van Berkel as the rain came down. Berkel raced. Van Berkel raced Southwick the day before and was out here to see what he could do in the sand. He is a sand racer. As Dylan Wright would be the first to make a mistake, end up in 2nd place to Moffenbauer there. As you can see, Tyler Medallia would then have Van Berkel battling him. He's got a fight over 4th and 5th, and a great day for number 20, that's Jeremy Mackay. There's Moffenbauer out front as the rain continues to come down. Dylan Wright would start to close in on him. Daniel Elmore moving his way up. He would actually end up in 7th in this one from dead last. As you can see, Moffenbauer still holding off Dylan Wright. And there's Medallia. He had KG Sand rider behind him. Jerry Lawrence came up from Michigan. He would end up 10th in this one as Daniel Elmore makes his way around him. There's Moffenbauer still out front. But then all of a sudden Moffenbauer will go down hard and you can see Dylan Wright would take over the lead. Moffenbauer lucky to be going again at all as we have Jess Pettis there. But again, as we said, mistakes would happen and there would be in 4th place alone now would be Van Berkel as Tyler Medallia found himself in 5th place. Dylan Wright out front. Here's Moffenbauer struggling just to make it to the end of this one. He wouldn't show up for the 2nd moto as Jess Pettis gets around him to take over that 2nd spot. The win would go to Dylan Wright, followed by Jess Pettis in 2nd. 3rd to Moffenbauer with a gutsy move there, but he will now be out indefinitely with that concussion. Next came Van Berkel, 5th, Tyler Medallia with number 20, Jeremy Mackay, this close behind him in 6th. 250 Moto 2 got underway under rainy skies, and it would rain hard throughout this one as Mitchell Harrison got out to a much better start this time, grabbing the whole shot, the well distributed whole shot ahead of KTM riders Kevin Benoit, Ryder McNabb. You can see Noah Viney in there, and the other guys from like the first moto heading out front in this one. Mitchell Harrison out front, followed by Kevin Benoit, 3rd to Ryder McNabb. 4th, Josiah Natsky, who won the first moto. 5th, Tanner Ward, not having to fight from the back of the pack this time. Noah Viney and Sebastian Racine there. There's a couple of young guns there, is Masiangelo and Jake Trico. Out front it is Mitchell Harrison, with a slight gap on Kevin Benoit here. Third to McNabb. Fourth was the first moto winner, Josiah Nansky, who had Tanner Ward pushing him. Kevin Benoit will close in. Again, riders making mistakes and keeping this one tight. Ward would get around Nansky, find himself up in fourth place. Great ride from Sebastian Racine, showing his true form. 3-4 for fourth overall for him. Up front, Kevin Benoit now took his turn in the lead, followed by Mitchell Harrison. As you can see, the rain continuing to fall. These two were this close throughout until the just over a lap to go, as you will see here. Great ride from Tanner Scott, man. 12-6 for seventh overall for the youngster. Rempel, Austin Jones will go 9-9 for ninth. Rempel would end up 8th on this one. And there's Harrison now again to the front, ahead of Kevin Benoit. Third, Ryder McNabb. And not too far behind him, pressuring as always, was Tanner Ward in this one, looking really good. But trouble with just over a lap to go. Down hard goes Mitchell Harrison while leading. He would have to take a DNF on this one. Looks like he is good to go, though, for this coming week. Tough blow for him. He would actually end up back in 13th place overall, as the win goes to Kevin Benoit. Second to Ryder McNabb for the overall. Third in this one to Tanner Ward. Fourth to Sebastian Racine. And fifth, Josiah Nansky. So in third place on the day would be Nansky. Was none too happy about his performance in the second one. Second to Kevin Benoit. And the winner, Ryder McNabb with 2-2 motos. Here's a look at your podium, and here's a look at the results. Second 450 Moto 2, a great jump by number 5, Tyler Medallia, as he looks over and sees the 25 of Daniel Elmore, but trouble for Elmore would end up dead last with Andy Treach, as we'll show here. But Medallia, nice front end, giving the whole shot to number 22, Tyler Gibbs out of BC, ahead of Wright and Jess Pettis there. Andy Treach, as I mentioned, and Daniel Elmore finding themselves at the back of the pack, having a blast through the field, but out front and running trouble-free. Putting on a clinic was Dylan Wright. Second at the moment was Jess Pettis. Dropping to third was Tyler Gibbs. Fourth, the Dutch rider Van Berkel had Medallia and Jeremy Mackay behind him. You see number 18, that's Parker Eels out of BC. He would end up 9th. Out front, no troubles at all for Dylan Wright, as he would just continue to build the lead. Second still would be Jess Pettis. There is Daniel Elmore moving his way up, getting himself around Mitchell France out of Michigan. There you can see Fall now has bent the visor on Jess Pettis. He finds him help behind Tyler Medallia, having to play catch-up. Alone in second was Van Berkel. Third, Medallia, but he had Jess Pettis pressuring him again, trying to make his way up. Medallia would fade in this one, say overtrained. And there's 10th place overall to Jerry Lawrence, 5th overall to Jeremy Mackay. Down a lap at the end of this one, but great rides from him. There's Grant Hoffman and Daniel Elmer fighting over 6th and 7th. Van Berkel takes a look over 3 lanes to find out where Dylan Wright is, 45 seconds up as Pettis gets around Medallia. As I said, 45 seconds up for Dylan Wright. Second to Van Berkel. Third, 58 seconds behind that, Jess Pettis, and a full minute and a half. And fourth would be Tyler Medallia. Fifth to Jeremy Mackay. And Berkel would take third overall on the day after riding Southwick the day before. Second to Jess Pettis. And the overall goes to Dylan Wright, the home team rider. There's your podium. We head to Sand Del Lee next week, and here's a look at the results.